Hey, so
What's up?
we're continuing our ongoing discussion about lack of marriage, romantic relationships,
Sexless
in Japan.
Sexless niggas in Japan.
For the record,
But this is not
yeah,
just happening in Japan.
yeah, it's happening around the world, but
Disclaimer.
Japan has the worst
They're in the forefront.
epidemic of this. I mean, if ever there was a caricature for what's happening, it's in Japan. So let's get to it.
Yep. I've never had anyone say that in my life. That was too casual, bro. That was too casual.
It's a lie.
That you don't
It's a lie.
Remember when you were a kid and you go smack?
Yeah.
You were like, that didn't happen.
Yeah, that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Who says this?
It's a lie.
What the fuck?
That's stupid. Who's
What?
a stupid woman? This one. Let's continue.
What?
Japan has long been famed for its sexual culture. Whatever your taste or fantasy, it's catered for somewhere here. This is the country that invented the Love Hotel. So what on earth has happened to Japan's youth?
I know Matsui should be swimming in pussy. He's 26 years old, bro. Talking about.
ずっと昔から学生の頃とかにやっぱり女の子にモテてなかったりとか結構女の子に告白とかはしたんですけどそれで振られたり
Okay, are they socialized to be like this?
I think
It
trying to get to the roots of this problem is massive. There are multiple factors involved, guys.
But let's just skid over it.
All right.
Yeah, glossing through. Okay,
So-
this is a young man.
Yeah.
He's not that bad looking. He looks good.
It looks just like a nut, but
He looks like a
but
cute
it's not.
nut.
Yeah, it's a cute
looks
nut.
like a cute
Yeah,
nut.
he's handsome. Yeah.
You want to tell me this guy went up to a chick once,
She said
got
no,
rejected,
no. And he's like, well,
he
no,
became
that's it.
traumatized.
I'm out.
Huh?
That
Fuck
was
this
it.
sex shit,
Yeah.
bro.
Let me focus on whatever
What
the hell it
happened? What
is.
did she say, bro? What did she tell you?
Okay,
Let's keep going.
alright.
でもうトラウマじゃないですけど自信がなくなっちゃってって感じですねはい
I think what I can get from this guy does not know what trauma means.
No, he does not.
That's not what
He
trauma
does
means.
not, bro. Someone saying now it's not true.
Come to Africa Dojo and you'll see.
Anamatsu is part of a growing army of young Japanese living sexless lives. Over 40% claim they are virgins.
Whoa. Pull up, nigga. Pull up, nigga. What?
Look at this statistics, guys. 43% never had sex, and this is
Age
18 to
13 to
34.
34.
And
They are virgins.
worse than that,
More, over 60%.
60.
No relationship. What the fuck?
But now this country is dying.
This is sad, man. This is sad.
This is crazy, bro.
And I'm sure for the virgins, I'm sure most of them are men. Most of the virgins are men.
Yeah, they're men. It's not the women.
Holy shit.
Just niggas. Okay.
In a relationship.
Do you feel like a lot of your friends are also like you not in sexual relationships? やっぱり僕みたいな人は結構やっぱりいますねやっぱり女性を変な意味でなんか怖い存在じゃないですけどなんか傷つきたくないんですね傷つきたくなくてやっぱり自分の趣味ですとかまあアニメとか漫画とかそういうものに
Okay, is this a pandemic of nerds? Because I know a lot of nerds who get pussy.
Yeah, no.
Bro, I'm a nerd myself to a point.
Nobody would ever believe that looking at you.
Ball deep in that anime.
But
let's be
it's
serious.
that thing that I was trying to say. The reasons for this are several. Okay, number one, the fact that after World War II, this industrialization, urbanization that happened, it destroyed traditional structures. What most people, I think, don't know or don't forget is that Japan was a major player, especially in the 1940s, 1940s in World War II.
Yeah.
Japan invaded China, nearly took over that country. and China is massive. And it's not like the Japanese were many.
No.
But they were ruthless. And even after America and her allies had defeated Germany and their allies, Japan was the only nation left standing, and they were fighting. The US were fighting the Japanese all over islands in Southeast Asia, Solomon Islands, whatnot. The Japanese were going to their death. I'm telling you.
What happened to that spirit?
I think after the bombs fell, it was sort of like the Rwandan moment after the genocide, and they were like, let's get away from militaristic thinking. Let's dive deep into industrialism, and they did well. Okay, they're one of the best. But you see, now this is why I said it was a multi-factor thing. That focus destroyed family life, culture. It robbed people of connections. It robbed this country of the sense of identity that comes from being men and women. Now all that was left was we're working hard in cities, education, trying to build infrastructure and economies with no emphasis whatsoever on anything else. Women had jobs now. During the World War, some women got into industries like that were involved with the war effort. So now women start getting into jobs. Many of them are like, maybe we don't need to get married anymore. Small things like this then became an avalanche that all culminated in this. These are men who have been raised by parents who are working full-time, who maybe don't give any sort of guidance, care, except from the basic, I feed you, and I clothe you, and you're in school. And after that, you leave home. And
because,
it's over.
Because I have been watching some of the shows that are coming out of Japan. There's especially one about zombies. I don't know if it's Japan or Korea. But it's the same nini. Okay, let's look at it. Yes, you've watched it.
I know about it.
The dynamics between the boys and the girls in that show was kind of weird. Because you could see that Korea. There were these tiny girls that were bullying huge ass niggas, and the guys were like cowering down.
And that's not just and
the cowering didn't look like they were acting. It looked like, okay, it's like this.
There's some foundation
the
of
girls are both chicks. And trying to tie that to the Japanese, we have always known across the world that the Japanese had something they call the samurai spirit. And I think it is so true.
The warrior code.
Once they put most of their young men in the war effort in World War II, and the number of young men they lost in that war,
I think the ones who were left behind were both pussies.
Just being honest, because
and then compound that with the fact that they left the rural lifestyle. Everyone is in cities. They're trying to make money. It's hard surviving in cities. Everyone is just doing their best. There's no emphasis on family. There's no emphasis in training boys to become men, girls to become women.
But there's such a rich culture though. These boys, if you really ask me, if I was born in Japan and I look at our history and I see how rich it is, I look at our forefathers, I see how strong they were. Their warrior code. We see how fearless they were. How the fuck would we end up like this?
What does that matter if at the end of the day you have to work and make ends meet? If the apartment that you're living is just a bed sitter and it's expensive,
then why is it only affecting men?
Who is going to affect? You see, with the women, at the end of the day, societies are built on the backs of men. For Japan to take over Asia, Southeast Asia, it was on the backs of the men. So if the men fall, then they're left to carrying imbeciles like this. They've already built a structure where everything is safe, it's good. So now the women rise up, and the women are always going to have sex. The women are the ones who are going to approach the guys because they want the sex but nothing else.
And you know they're not approaching guys who look like this.
Yeah, of course not.
I don't know if you've read about the sex cafes where even ladies can go to cafes and clubs where there are studs. There are guys who are paid to be there to be companions to these women. And these guys are so fucking popular, bro. Some women even buy them high-end vehicles. These guys are like celebrities. And all of that is just because they look a certain way. They look like a certain anime character. They're tall enough. They're slim. So for these guys, and there was a docu about it. This guy was saying that there are some clients of his who call him and they tell him, yo, come over. I want to snuggle.
Just snuggle.
They snuggle, nigga gets 10,000 yen for snuggle. Another one.
Want that job?
Yo, come over. I want us to take a walk while we hold hands.
Yeah.
It's not even sex. I want to take a walk with you holding hands. I want you to hold me while I cry. Weird shit like that.
They're paying for emotional
needs.
Emotional needs,
and that feeling that security from a man without having any sort of physical attachments or connection.
Yeah.
And I think ladies actually think that is empowering, but it's not.
That's fucking terrible, man.
That is weird as fuck. Because if you don't have that complete emotional and physical connection, you can't build anything. You can't build anything that will survive these times that are unprecedented.
Guys, this is just a simple thing. Now imagine these same ladies who are now in their 30s, right? When they're 45, 50, who are they going to call? Will they have the money to make those kinds of calls? Let's even say they do have the money, and a new stud is around, so he'll come. Good. When she's 60, will he still come?
Let's get back to this nigga. Bruh. Dude, crazy. How do you just say that so cavalierly? So matter of fact, yo, I hate myself. What are you gonna do about it?
Okay.
Bruh.
Okay, let's see.
Jesus Christ.
Are you surprised by this?
Guys, they're so emasculated though.
Yeah, so these women are clearly a little different.
Just like you can feel.
Lokude Nashiko is famous for making a 3D image of her own vagina and putting it on the web.
Okay, for the record, I would not ask this woman out. What the hell is that?
She's 45.
This woman looks like shit.
She does look 45. She looks 45.
I'm just calling it. I would not ask
But she looks like she's married. That's a wedding band, bro.
It could just be a ring.
Oh, she's flexing on people like that.
Why the hell? How the hell are you married and you're 3D printing your vagina?
Your vagina is
what the hell is
that? For someone who's had sex, like good sex, like that intimate connection, porn doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it. So for guys who say, yo, porn is enough for me, that's just someone who hasn't tested good pussy. Let's just be honest.
And at the end of the day, guys, we know if you're looking for something more meaningful, it's not just about the pussy and it's over. You know, there is an emotional and mental connection to this thing. It's quite important. That adds another dimension to the whole process of the sexual encounter. That's indispensable if you want the quality. Yeah. So
if young Japanese men were watching porn on the internet,
what about young women?
The question they should ask, this guy has to be honest. The question they should ask is, how do you sexually satisfy yourself without a man?
Yeah.
Because saying sex is something you don't need, but yo, you are a human being.
Yeah, that's just
so how many toys do you have?
Of the cat.
What kind of toys do you have?
Yeah.
You have anal beads? That's the shit you should be asking these people.
Yeah.
やっと東京に来てからは結構夜遅くまで友達と飲んだりとか、そういう自由ないろんな人と出会う時間が。
She's trying to look. If you're out late drinking with your friends, then what inevitably follows after that?
You get ass cheeks clapped.
I laugh. She's just a liar. She's just trying to make it sound like I don't need no man.
なので、なんかもしそういうのを制限されたり。
She was getting the cheeks clapped, but she just doesn't want a relationship. She doesn't want a boyfriend who will tell her, you can't go out anymore getting your cheeks clapped.
She's a slut. She's a slut. She's just a slut.
These people, the way they talk about relationships, it's so weird.
Yeah. Low self-esteem or escaping the patriarchy. Whatever the reasons,
Okay.
half, 15, or
Listen to this, guys.
It could be internet pornography, low self-esteem, or escaping the patriarchy.
It always bows. You see, but let's just be honest. Look at who
Yeah, but look
the
at
show is
look
at.
at the show. This is
Shout out to BBC for bringing us Destroy the Patriarchy.
Yeah.
Yes. Idiots.
Hey guys.
Yo, that's it from us. Last thing. Young men getting addicted to porn is something very serious. Let's just say that, because once you get addicted to porn, even before you have any sexual encounter with a woman, that shit will dictate how you will perceive women, how you will perceive intimacy, and you will suffer for it.
It destroys your perception of what being with a real person is. What you see is not real life. It's not like that. It's not that glamorous. It makes you think it's going to be amazing. And to be fair, compared to what is shown on pornography, real sexual encounters are a bit blunt. And but you see, that's a real life.
We need to stop treating porn like it's some taboo. Porn is everywhere, and we need to be honest about it, especially for young men. I know there's a lot of young men right now who can't go a day without jacking their meat, and that's a condition, bro. I know people laugh about it. They say it's do what, but the more you continue doing that, the more you rewire parts of your brain into believing and thinking women are just pieces of meat used for sex, and you don't need them, and that will affect how you even interact with them. Yeah. And in the long run, you might end up like this guy.
Yeah, in the long run, this is what it boils down to. Unable to connect with women, thinking real sex is shit, so you cannot get the same high that you get when you're masturbating or when you're watching porn. It's something we need to focus on.
We do. Especially men, we need to speak honestly about it. Yeah. It is a problem. It's a fucking problem. And we cannot thump our chests about it. It's an addiction. Yeah. Just like any other addiction. And unless we combat it head on and check out where our problems are, is it that our young men are not socialized? Is it that they can't go out? What's the problem? Yeah. Unless we do that, we might end up like Japan in a couple of years. That's not outside the realm of possibilities. Yo, so that's me and Vic. You got anything else to say? Are we good?
That's it. We'll see ya.
On to the next one. Peace out. Like and subscribe. Like it.